A lot of show. Make sure and fill in your brackets. Get your brackets. The challenge is up. Find it on our website and on social media. Get in touch with our bracket challenge. Yes, I'm in. I've got Auburn winning the national championship.
Yeah,
I've got the LSU women making a run though on the women's side as the NCAA women's basketball tournament gets underway on Thursday night. In fact, the inaugural women's first four game will be on Thursday at 7 o'clock Central on ESPN2 as Missouri State and Florida State square off for a chance to face Ohio State. That'll all originate from Baton Rouge. Kim Mulkey and her crew will take on Jackson State on Saturday. That will be a 4 o'clock tip-off inside the Maravich Center coming up this weekend, and we invite Coach Mulkey into the conversation now here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great.
Yes. This has got to be the time of the year you love. What is this time of the year like for a coach like you? You've experienced it all. You've been to the mountaintop, but here you are going through another selection Sunday, and you see your team on the dotted line playing on Saturday.
Well, I'm so excited for the players. It doesn't matter how long you do this or how many times you've done it. It never gets old. You never take it for granted. You want everybody to be excited because there's going to be a lot of people, Jordy, that have never been to a first and second round hosted by their favorite teams or their team. And there's a lot in that locker room that have never hosted a first and second round game. And it's exciting.
Yeah. Coach, one thing that I read yesterday that I didn't realize and wanted to ask you about, I didn't know that your starting five's average age was 22 years old. That has to mean a lot in college basketball. How is that an advantage for you?
Well, I guess I never thought about it from an age perspective. You heard me mention all year experience. It matters. You don't do what we've done this year without experience. Experienced coaching staff, experienced players. They've been through the SEC. They've lost tough games. They've had losing seasons. And they've stayed the course, and it matters. And I don't care how good your freshman class will be next year. We're not going to do next year probably what we've done this year until you get 2 or 3 recruiting classes in here, and they all stay together, and you reach that point of upperclassmen. Unfortunately, it may or may not happen a lot anymore because of the fact that you have the transfer portal. And kids are in and out. And so you just have to try to have some consistency. And that's why I'm so indebted to these seniors. They stayed the course here at LSU.
Speaking of seniors, do you have an update on Alexis Morris, and what do you expect from her this weekend?
Well, the update is day-to-day. She's still not in practice, but that's not unexpected. I have told them, when I say them, that's the trainers, the medical professionals, don't tap me on the shoulder until she's ready to play and can go full speed. I don't want parameters put on me. I don't want you to say, oh, she can go 10 minutes, take her out. You know, some people allow that. I don't want to call with updates and asking because I feel like that's putting pressure on them, even though it's more curiosity than anything. What I always is just prepare that you're not going to have them. Prepare for everything. And that anything that happens is icing on the cake. We certainly, at the time that she was injured, feel like she's going to be back. And we play Saturday, Monday. So that's another, whole week. So we're hopeful, but I can't sit around and say, well, what if, and not prepare people. We've played 2 games since. Actually, I say we played 3 games since she was injured. She was injured in the first minute of the Alabama game, and we won that. Then we go to Tennessee. We win without her. And then we lose to Kentucky. But, guys, everybody lost to Kentucky that particular weekend.
Yeah. She was Ryan Jones was balling. She looked like the number 1 pick that weekend for sure. The attention your team gets is around your guard play, is around your backcourt. But Faustine and Autumn have really played really big over the last couple of weeks. What have you thought about your low block play?
Well, the low block play's got to continue to be solid. I don't need you to be spectacular. Just be who you are. Be solid. All of them might need to give us just a little bit more on the offensive end at every position should Alexis Morris not be ready to go. and then just continue doing what we've done on the defensive end of the floor. Rebound the ball, give your opponent one shot, and every time your opponent shoots the ball, make sure it's a shot that's contested or a shot that they really had to work hard to make.
When's the last time you tried to get thrown out of a game and didn't get thrown out of a game? Were you trying to get thrown out?
Absolutely. I had a few choice words that I'm not real proud of, but I've never tried to get thrown out of a game. I've tried to get technicals and have always received them, but not a lot in my career. I've been thrown out one time, and I was shocked that I got thrown out. And I thought to myself, at the end of the Connecticut game last year, go back and look at it. That was a foul.
Hell yeah, it was a foul. The entire world said it was a foul.
Oh, I almost burned down my kitchen watching that game.
LeBron James was tweeting in watching that game saying, where's the foul?
That's when I blew up my walk.
Well, yeah, I had flashbacks. That game against Kentucky in the SEC tournament, guys, it was over. We were down double figures. There was not enough time, 1:20. I didn't plan to get the toss or the technical, but the foul after the shot was right there at my feet. And I just thought, I'm going to send a message to a lot of people. I'm going to send a message to my team. You didn't quit fighting tonight, and I'm not going to quit fighting for you. I'm sending a message to the referee world that just because we're heading to the playoffs, don't get lazy with your whistle. And a foul is a foul, whether you're behind, whether it's critical. A foul is a foul at any time in the course of a game. And so it was just twofold at that moment to, I'm going to get tossed. They didn't toss me, and so I just stood there and stared at them because I still don't know what the confusion was on why they kept going to the monitor and talking in the monitor. And I was very much under control. You don't get tossed all the time because you're out of control. You're making a statement. In fact, I was winking and smiling at the young lady for Kentucky that fouled. I didn't want that young lady to think I was upset at her.
Also, Christy Curry, the Alabama head coach, I'd imagine got that technical because of you in the following game because of the fear that you had struck in those officials, because it looked like you were inviting them to throw you out. It was almost like you were like, throw me out. If you're going to throw me out, throw me out. They were like too scared to do it. They were like, I'm not messing with her. And then Christy, then Coach Curry, the Alabama coach, the next game, I think she said like something like, that was out of bounds on them. And they turn around and hit her with a technical.
Not again.
Yeah, right.
Well, Christy's a dear friend of mine, and she's one of the kindest, sweetest people you know. She's from Alla, Louisiana, played at LaSalle High School back in the day for her mother, and went to ULM. And I actually texted her after she got tossed because one of my coaches told me it happened. And I said, I don't have to see anything. That coach at Alabama just got tossed because they probably got their rear ends chewed out from the supervisor of officiating at my game and said, anybody that goes out of the coaching box, you need to tee them up. So I just texted her and I said, Christy, you got tossed because they didn't do their job in tossing me. And she goes, it's all right. I meant to get the first technical. And she said, I just walked off the court when they, told her to go. But I hate it for Christy, but the bottom line is do your job, make the call. And if the call was made, I would have never gone to try to get tossed. And I didn't get that opportunity last year in the Connecticut loss because there was no time left on the clock. So it was a helpless feeling to sit there and not have an explanation. Go to the media. The first question they're going to ask is about the call. And if I remember, I told them, did you see the game? Did you see the end of the game? Mm-hmm. You write what you saw. Yeah. I'm not in a position to talk about officiating because then I get fined or suspended or whatever. So I think I just had flashbacks and felt like it was the right thing to do the other night.
The improvement for LSU basketball from last year to this year is the greatest turnaround in SEC women's basketball history. For that, Coach Kim Mulkey was named the Athletics Coach of the Year last Wednesday for driving her group to this point of the season. What's the challenges that Jackson State present to you on the weekend?
I'm very familiar with Jackson State. My Baylor team played them in the first round. last year. And if you look at the score, you'll think, wow, you blew them out 50. Don't be deceived by that. Jackson State is good. They have 3 of their returning starters back. They have transfers in there. They're very well coached. They're confident. They'll come in here with a lot of confidence, and they're very excited to play LSU. It's 2.5 hours down I-55, and I'm sure they'll bring, their fans, and they got a higher seed this year than they've ever had out of the SWAC. It will be a tough game, guys, and especially, if we don't have Morris.
I came up and saw you in your office last week. I appreciate you. The free throw competition winners that got the signed Kim Mulkey basketball were elated. But when I walked in, you were on the phone with the number 1 player in the country. And I got to imagine that recruiting right now is getting a major attention. How is that going? How is that part of the process going?
Well, I can't talk about specific players,
yes,
but, we're going to recruit, and we're going to recruit Louisiana, the region first, and then we're going to go out there and try to pick some national players that, are interested in what we're doing at LSU, or even people we have relationships with that we were recruiting at Baylor. Recruiting is the lifeblood of all programs, and I much more prefer to be a coach on that floor than being rejected in recruiting. But it's what we do. It's what I've been doing for 38 years, and it never stops. And the only difference now than when I started, Jordy, is the transfer portal. We may have kids leave. We don't know that till the season's over, but we also may have kids come in here. It's just free agency now, and don't ever think that the unexpected is going to happen after the season, because it's here. The NIL is here. The transfer portal is here, and it's just a part of our daily work.
Practice 9:30 this morning for the LSU ladies as they get ready for tip-off on Saturday versus Jackson State. The PMAC will play host to the opening weekend of women's basketball that you can go check out with a good one for a play-in game. In fact, happening tomorrow night with a chance to face off versus Ohio State on Saturday. LSU women under Coach Kim Mulkey, as we said, 25 wins this season. They'll take on Jackson State at 4 o'clock inside of the Maravich Center. Thank you for your time, Coach. We will talk again soon. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Jordy.
Yes, ma'am. There she is, Kim Mulkey, checking in this morning as she gets her crew ready